as and when any announcements are made about deals done. But let's also talk about today being a chance for Groupon to try and impress investors again. The Daily Deals service is releasing its second quarter results. And with a new management in place, shareholders want to know more about the plans for the future. Since its stock market debut 2 years ago, shares in Groupon have sunk, and some are worried it's an overhyped internet name that's struggling in a very competitive market. But Groupon is diversifying in a bid to get ahead again. I'm joined by Claudio Alvarez, who's director at GP Bullhound, for some analysis of this. Claudio, what will they tell us today? Their results, obviously, and of course their strategy.
Sure. So I think investors are probably looking for revenues to grow around 25-26%, so to the level of around $750–760 million. But in particular, they'll be looking for three key things, which is one, an update on how North America is doing, which is Groupon's most competitive market. I mean, they're not only getting competition from the likes of Amazon, Google, but also from a host of local players. Secondly is what's happening to gross margins, because of course, as they're transitioning from a push-to-pull model, Groupon's had to invest much more on advertising to bring traffic onto their website, into the app. And then thirdly, how is growth in international markets happening? You know, international's been a key driver of growth the last couple of quarters, and investors will be looking to get an update on that to see where the growth is coming from.
And they've got a lot of ground to make up, haven't they? I mean, when they floated, the share price was around $20.
Yeah, $20, so $13 billion market cap. As of yesterday, their market cap was around $4 billion. And
I mean, the shares were going recently at $5 each.
Correct.
And that's a huge fall.
Correct. And I think, you know, a lot of people have said, you know, should they have sold the business when they got an offer for $6 billion, or should they have gone to IPO? And, you know, history is always, you know, you always judge it on what happens next.
So do you think Groupon will be around in 5 years' time, or will it be swallowed up? I mean, as you say, they've been buying up other companies, haven't they, who are in a similar sort of business to try and diversify. Is that going to be enough?
Well, I think, you know, this is the task that, you know, the management have ahead of them now, and I think, you know, it's still very early days, so they've only been there for 18 months or so to try and, you know, reorganize the business away from the sort of local daily deals and more into e-commerce, and of course some of the B2B propositions for the local merchants. So I think it's still very early days, but ultimately you've got to believe that if they turn around the business and start showing some profits, you know, the 50+ million subscribers and active users that Groupon does have is of value to someone. So I think perhaps it won't be a standalone business in 5 years' time, but I think, you know, that user base will still be around. Whether they're the Groupon guys, I don't know.
Okay, Claudio Alvarez, very interesting to get your thoughts on Groupon. As and when we hear from them, we'll let you know how they're doing. Now let's talk about Indonesia. It's been